Why did I do that? I did not have to do that. Hey there, and welcome back to Five Nights at Playtime Freddy's Remastered, where we're going to be dedicating pretty much the entire video to Custom Night Rebecca's Hell, which is 1220 mode. And last time, I pretty much gave an attempt at the very end of the last video, and I got to, like, I survived a minute and 20 seconds, so I got to, like, 1 AM. My biggest concern, honestly, like, I'm concerned about everyone for sure. You know, I gotta pay attention to those sound cues, vent, but power is probably gonna be my biggest issue, I think. I think that's gonna be my biggest issue, especially considering how close I cut it on night 6. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how far we get through this. Also, yeah, I guess music box is also another big concern for me. Obviously using the keybinds to help me out here. Foxy. I had a feeling I missed the sound cue there. Thing is, like, probably one of the biggest issues that is going to be dealing with power drain, because the doors drain exponentially, right? The longer they're closed, to a certain point, you know, they max out, and then they just drain a hell of a lot of power. And it's difficult to, like, even get a chance to open it. With the keybinds, it'll be a bit easier, but I gotta be careful. See, like, because of the plethora of sound cues, it's so hard to, especially with, like, the doors closing, the huge sounds when you shine the light. It is so difficult to tell, like, whenever there's someone actually in the vents. Like, sometimes I can tell, but other times, sometimes it might be worth just doing this. Also, the issue with Shadow Freddy is that Shadow Freddy disables lights, so I'm kind of stuck having to mess around with that. Freddles. I didn't notice the Freddles were there. The thing is, it's only 6 minutes, but it is a tough-ass 6 minutes. Damn it. I was hoping to refresh the door, but I think Fredbear was still there. So that's the part that's can be a little tricky, because sometimes, like I said, you know, it's like they're making a cube, but I'm pretty sure Fredbear was there behind, like, in the window section. So it looks like when you can't open the door, like, how do I put this? Like, what's it called? So the Dream Fredbear, they showed up at the door, but then Freddy showed up at the door as well with Dream Fredbear, like, you know, like by the window section. However, when I opened the door, it's not just for Freddy. I'm also technically opening it for Fredbear, so I can't really do that until Fredbear leaves and it's just Freddy. I can kind of open the door to reset the power drain if it's a new character that hasn't been there as long. I think that's a better way of putting it. But since Fredbear was technically there, you know, and he was there the longest anyway, I pretty much just opened the door right for him. So I gotta keep in mind with that cue, because I'm pretty sure I saw Freddy there. Oh my god. Yeah, and those random interactions could honestly make a break for me. Damn it. I knew I was playing greedy there. I knew I should have checked the door a lot. I shouldn't have charged the puppet that long. Thing is, it's definitely doable, and I'm definitely doing decent with the power. But I just have to be consistent. I can't get too greedy with the puppet. The puppet, I have a lot of time with the puppet, to be honest. I swear there was no one at the door. See
Would you
that?
like to play with us?
This strategy doesn't always work, obviously, because I didn't see the balloon twins there until that moment. Why did I go to here? So yeah, that strategy isn't foolproof, obviously, but I have to try and like, I don't know. It's the only way I can try and like limit how much my power is draining. Power's not looking good. I opened the door. I opened the door for Bonnie. I did that on accident. For some reason I thought I don't know what I was thinking there. I was all over the place. 3 a.m. but my power was not doing good. I was letting too many doors go close for so long. That's pretty much like the main thing that's gonna make this night so difficult. How good I can control the doors. I didn't even. Okay. Why did I do that? I did not have to do that. I did not have to do that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I did not have to do that. I panicked. Okay, moment of truth. I don't know how power outages work, so I don't know if I can drag it to 6. We made it! Let's go! We made it! Oh my god, we made it! Let's go. Let's go, we did it. Did this head change? I can't tell if it was... I could have sworn it was silver before. Oh my god. Wait, where's my custom night? Yes, I got the star, let's go! Oh my god. We didn't get anything new out of it story-wise, but we beat the challenge. Oh my god, that is a tough challenge. Oh my god. I was doing good in the beginning there. I'll probably show the whole run, to be honest, but I was doing so good in the beginning, power management wise. I was doing so well. Around the 4 AM mark is where I really dropped the ball. I let the vent closed. I left it closed for so long, unnecessarily. I was kind of like panicking because I saw it was 4 AM, like, okay, I'm back at 4 AM, and like the stress got to me, and I was leaving so many doors closed. I was like, I don't want to accidentally open a door and get caught again. I'm not gonna lie, when I got caught at 4 AM mark, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it farther than this. I don't know if I can. And it just took a couple, like, was that even the try after, or was like a couple tries? I don't even remember. Like, it's a blur, but I was just going through. I think this is the try right after the 4 AM one, actually. That's how weird it is. Like, I can't even tell how many tries it took. It didn't even take me that long, honestly. I think I did it in around 10 tries. I don't know how many times I died, but I think around 10 times I died, I think. But honestly, I don't know, I'm actually pretty happy that I managed to beat that as quickly as I did. Just cause, like, I don't know, it's a 12-20 mode, like trying to like close all the doors. Like, given it's the gameplay wise, again, it's not the most complicated thing in the world, but it's just the anxiety of having to like constantly check doors, check doors, close doors, check the vent, close that front vent. It's very akin again to like FNAF 1 custom night, obviously. The only thing with FNAF 1 custom night, I remember the strategy was so, I guess you could say, like, brainless almost, because you never really the strategy was very, how do I put it, like, it was very static, right? Because I remember there was really a pattern that you would do in FNAF 1 custom night, right? You use the lights on the doors, close them if Bonnie or Chica were there. Otherwise, you always keep the right door closed when you're on camera because of Freddy. And then you have Foxy that you just have to keep an eye on. I mean, in like so many ways, like, it's like this custom night is a lot like FNAF 1, only it's a lot more it's incredibly reactive, because you have to constantly like close the front vent whenever you hear a sound cue, so you always have to be on the lookout for that, which can be difficult if you're constantly turning on the light and constantly getting these giant booms in your ear, right? That can easily mask either Foxy's arrival or a front vent arrival. Having to manage doors power usage a lot more intricately, because the thing is that strategy for 420 mode in FNAF 1 usually would get you through the night anyway with power to spare, I think, or at the very least very close to it, if I remember correctly anyway. But in this, the thing about this one that made it so much more difficult is the fact that the power usage for the doors was not linear, right? So even though like sometimes you'll find yourself in FNAF 1, like, yeah, you leave the door closed for a long time because guess what, Bonnie's just camping your doorway. But here, it's not even about them camping for very long, it's the fact that there's so many characters that are constantly arriving at that door. You'll close the door for Freddy, right? And then find yourself having to keep the door closed for Dream Fredbear. It's like, well, if I just keep doing that, I'm gonna lose all my power because of the door usage. Like, they kind of like want you to open those doors pretty frequently, which is so difficult when you're doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, you close the door on Freddy, you go and do other stuff, then you turn on the light and you see Dream Fredbear, and it's like, okay, you have to do it in like split second. Do I open the door or do I not, right? Was he there that long? Because if he was there too long, opening the door is gonna mean death, right? Like, that's something that's already caught me a few times. And then, you know, trying to manage the lights, on top of the fact that, like, this whole management stuff, on top of Shadow Freddy just disabling your lights, you know, whenever they appear, also just adds a bit of a complication there, because that's just more time with the door closed, right? If you can't check the lights, like, if you can't check the light, you can't really open the door. You can't even really close the door anyway. Or, I mean, you can, but, you know, it'd be risky. And then, you know, same goes for, like, the front vent. You know, I can, if Shadow Freddy's there, I can't really shine my light on the vent to make sure there's no one there, that I didn't miss the sound cue. Foxy only shows up, I think, pretty much every hour, around, like, the 40, I guess, like, the 40-second mark, I would say, of every minute. That's pretty much, like, but they, you know what I mean, like, every minute they show up starting, like, the 40-50 seconds, so, like, 1 minute 40, 2 minute 40, they always show up around that time. But it's like, sometimes I'll check out, like, I get worried that I missed the sound cue, so I literally check the vents, and it's like, oh, guess what, he's not there. It's like, oh, great. So, that, like, that just adds on to the stress, because part of me is like, okay, I want this one time I check the vent, so he's there, so I don't have to worry about it afterwards. But overall, that was, honestly, that was indeed Rebecca's hell, honestly. And don't even get me started on the puppet. The puppet drain is honestly insane. I'm glad that they have, like, 2 stages where it's like, if the bar drains completely, it goes red, which is when the puppet starts to move, but you can still recover from that. If this was like FNAF 2, where having the bar go to empty meant game over, this would be way harder, just because you cannot afford to make a mistake with the puppet. Here, the game's a bit more lenient, obviously, right? I mean, it's kind of give and take. They're more lenient with the puppet, but a lot more harsher with the actual power usage. But I'm glad I managed to beat it, honestly. But that pretty much concludes our time here with Five Nights at Playtime Freddy's Remastered, right? Pretty much gonna be just waiting for whenever the second game eventually comes out. Curious to see how the story's gonna continue on from there. But of course, with all that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, comment, let me know what you enjoyed from the video and what you want to see from me. The game will be in the description below as always. Great job once again to Trap Games and everyone that was part of the development. Curious to see how the second game will go, of course. Also, if you haven't seen my latest story breakdown on Five Nights at Fangs, Pizza and Theater, it'll be in the description below, as well as a playlist of all my other story breakdowns. And with that said, I'll see you in another video. Take care.